Opioids. In this session, let us try to welcome to the Addiction Treatment Training Program developed by the National Drug Dependence Treatment Center, AIIMS, New Delhi. This module covers management of opioid use disorders. This module contains 4 sessions, one on overview of opioids, the second one on opioid withdrawal management. The third session will be discussing long-term agonist maintenance treatment for opioid dependence, and the fourth session will be long-term antagonist maintenance treatment for opioid dependence. So let us start the first session, which is on overview of opioids. In this session, let us try to understand what is opium, what are opioids. Let us try to see how are the various ways in which opioids are classified, understand the effects of opioids, discuss opioid dependence criteria and features of opioid dependence, and finally a small discussion on how opioid dependence is managed. So what is opium? Opium is derived from a plant called as Papaver somniferum. Now this plant grows in certain regions of the world. Countries such as Afghanistan and Myanmar are the world's largest illegal opium producing countries. Now we also are aware that opium is required for manufacturing various medications which are used, and hence some countries are given licenses legally to produce opium. India is one of the largest legal producers of opium. Certain states such as Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh are the legal manufacturers of opium in the country. So what are opioids? Opioids are any substances which have effects similar to opium. So they are called as opioids. Now the important thing to remember is that opioids and opium act on specific receptors in the body called as opioid receptors, and there are various types of opioid receptors. The common ones are mu, kappa and delta. These opioid receptors are situated in certain organs of the body. It is found abundantly in brain and the spinal cord system, gastrointestinal system, so on and so forth. Some of the examples of opioids include products like or medicines like morphine, codeine, buprenorphine, fentanyl and tramadol. So how is opium derived from this Papaver somniferum plant? Now when the plant grows, the flowering top of the plant has a bulb, as we can see in this picture. The bulb is then given cuts by special knives, and these cuts ooze a resinous like material. This resin is then left to dry, and then the dried resinous exudate is scraped off the bulb, and the brownish mass that we can see in the last picture is opium. Now that we know what are opioids, let us try to see how can opioids be classified. Now there are various ways of classifying opioids. They can be classified based on the source of production, from where they are produced. They can also be classified based on their pharmacological properties, and finally they can also be classified based on how they are consumed, through which routes are they consumed. Let us look at each of these classificatory system in the next few slides. So if we look at the first way of classifying, which is on the basis of the source, we have natural derivatives from opium poppy. The examples are morphine, codeine, so on. Then we have semi-synthetic derivative, that is we require some chemical from opium and then we derive these substances. Examples which are relevant to us include heroin, which is nothing but diacetylmorphine, and buprenorphine, the medicine that we used in opioid agonist maintenance treatment or in withdrawal management. We also have some synthetic opioids which do not require opium poppy plant to manufacture these substances. The examples being dextropropoxifen, methadone or pentazocine. So we can classify opioids on the basis of source as natural, semi-synthetic or synthetic opioid products. On the basis of pharmacological properties, how can opioids be classified? They can be classified as agonist, that is full agonist, where the opioids, they bind to the opioid mu receptors as we discussed before, and the receptors, the mu receptors are activated fully, 100% activation is there. So the examples of full agonist or pure agonist include opioids such as morphine, heroin, methadone or codeine. In contrast, we have some opioids which are partial agonist. Here too, the opioids bind to the same opioid mu receptors, but the receptor is not fully activated. There is less than 100% activation of the opioid receptor. The example of partial agonist is buprenorphine. In the next few slides, let us try to see pictorially or through the help of an animation how does this work. For the sake of simplicity, let us consider that this is an opioid receptor and it has a specific place where an opioid can come and act upon. That is the white triangular space where the opioids can lodge itself and activate this receptor for producing opium or opioid action. Now if you see, there is an opium molecule which is in the vicinity of this opioid receptor. Now the opium, because it has got a specific key which can tightly bind to the opioid receptor at the place where the opioids can act, and because opium is a pure or a full agonist, it is able to exert 100% action or 100% activation of the opioid receptor. Similarly, for heroin, though the molecule looks different compared to opium as you would have observed, but the heroin also has the same kind of key like the opium molecule, and it fits snugly into the space for the opioid receptor to be activated fully and produce 100% activation of the opioid receptor. Similarly, buprenorphine also has a key which can fit into the opioid receptor, but it does not fit snugly and it is not able to open or activate the opioid receptor 100%. So that's why it is called as a partial agonist. So it has opioid like action, but the activation is not 100%. Such type of opioids are called as partial agonists. So that now we have seen classification based on pharmacological properties. Let us see how opioids are classified on the basis of route of intake. So some opioids can be consumed orally. So what are the examples? They include opium or poppy straw called as doda or pukki in certain regions of the country. Also tablets of morphine. Methadone is available both as a syrup as well as tablets which is consumed orally. Codeine, which is there in some cough syrups, also is consumed orally, or for that matter we have tramadol tablets. So these are some examples of oral preparation of opioids. The second way in which opioids can be consumed is inhalational, either smoked through cigarettes, the classical example being heroin, or heroin also is smoked in another specific way called as chasing, where heroin is placed on a cigarette foil and it is burnt from below, and the fumes that arises, they are smoked through the mouth or they are inhaled through the mouth. That is an example of inhalational route of opioid use. The third way that opioids can be used is parenteral route, and we have various injectable